Well, hi! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome, hi, subscribe, like this video. If you are returning, welcome back. I really hope you have enjoyed the last couple of videos that I've done. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about stretching your ears and my journey. So I have literally just a couple days ago stretched up to the final size that I want to be. I am currently at 16mm and I'm loving it. I think this size just complements the shape of my ear and I think it just looks really cool. I'll tell you a bit about my stretching journey and then I'll kind of go through some rules and shit with you because stretching your ears is a huge thing. It takes a long time, you've got to do it right else you can really hurt yourself. So I'll go through my ear stretching 101 with you after I tell you all about my ears. So I started stretching my ears during my last year my last year of uni. It would have been the end of 2016 to the start of 2017. I think I got to my final size during about March, April of 2017 and I think I started around the same time in 2016. So it probably took me a full year to get to a 00, which is 1 centimetre. And at that point that I was stretching my ears during uni, I thought that was the last stretch that I wanted to do. I didn't think I wanted to go any bigger than a 00. I'd heard rumours that a 00 was like the point of no return really, and if you go bigger than that then your ears don't stretch down naturally on their own, which is kind of bullshit. They're always, if you stretch your ears, they're always going to be a bit saggy. So I had my ears pierced since I was 7. I've had my first lobes pierced since I was 7. I got them done by a hairdresser who was also qualified and I'm pretty sure it was done with a gun. I don't know, it was early 2000s. And then I was 19. I was either just about to turn 19 or just about to turn 20 when I decided to stretch my ears, or when I started to stretch my ears. And I got this kit, or I'll have it linked somewhere, to stretch my ears to a 00 gauge. The tapers on this kit were really short. The jump was really big in between sizes, and they had this awful kind of ledge that you had to get over. So I stopped using the tapers at about a 2 gauge and I started taping from a 2 gauge up to a 00. I'll show you what taping is in a second. And then I got to a 00, I was really happy. I've been a 00 for a couple of years now. And then beginning of this year, so beginning of 2019, I decided, you know what? I am going to go bigger. So I bought this set, which goes all the way up to 20mm. I'll show you how crazy this stretch is. So I was at this, so that's a 00, tiny. This is 20mm, so that's only 2 sizes bigger than what I currently am. So I have gone from this to almost this. And to be fair, I've not done it the correct way. This is the Body Jewelry For You 00 to 20mm stretching kit. It is the acrylic version. You should not stretch with acrylic, but I have only got this set for the plugs because I have taped my entire journey from 2 gauge, like I said. So I'm not fussed about the fact that the plugs are acrylic because I'm using tape around them constantly anyway. So I'm not worried about this. So like I said, beginning of this year, January, I bought the kit and I have gone up 3 sizes since then. And to be fair, That's probably a very short amount of time to do those 3 stretches, especially considering the jumps in between stretches. But my ears are fine. So now I'm going to tell you a bit about the stretching method. I'm sure if you're watching my video, you've probably watched about 1,000 other videos on stretching your ears and you already know what the taping method is, but I'm still going to show you because it still is a part of my journey. So this is what I use to stretch my ears, and please do not do what I've done. It worked out for me, but it probably won't work out for others. I use washi tape to stretch my ears, only because the adhesive on it is minimal. This is really crap washi tape. It hardly sticks to anything except itself, which is basically what you want. So it is super, super thin. I use the white one, or this white one with stars, only because it's the least invasive on the white plugs that I was using. So when I first went from a 00 to 12mm, I put the plugs straight in my ears, and that is only because I'd been at a 00 for almost 2 years, and my ears, I play with my ears all the time. I pull my stretchers, I pull my tunnels, I pull my plugs, and they had become loose, and I was, in theory, a 12 gauge. So I was this gauge and I put it straight in, and it didn't hurt, it literally plopped right in. But just for curiosity's sake, I will pretend that I taped up. This is a 00 plug and this is a 12mm plug. So you can see there is some difference. There is quite a large difference. I can't believe I was ever that small. That just makes me laugh. So yeah, those are the 2 sizes. So I've taken the O-rings off the plug, and then this is where the tape comes in. So I would literally put the tape on there and wrap it, I know you probably can't see what I'm doing whatsoever, wrap it around maybe twice or 3 times. So then it's got some tape on it, and then I just plop in the outside parts so that it's all gross at the back and cute at the front. And then I would do that every couple of days until my plugs were pretty much the same size. Now there is obviously still some size difference between these, but the taping makes it easier to stretch. So once they were about the same size, with maybe like 0.5 millimeters difference, I would then get the 12mm taper, take out this, put the 12mm through, and it would go so smoothly. It's ridiculous because you've already done most of the stretching, you're just getting that last 0.5 millimeter through. So yeah, that is how the tape method works. The preferred tape that you should use, bondage tape, any kind of tape that only sticks to itself. So like, it barely sticks to me. Like, it's ridiculous how easy it is to pull this off. But it sticks to itself ridiculously nicely. So yeah, and that is how I went from a 00 to 16mm. Now, I have a good ear and a bad ear. So I'm going to put in the footage now of my last stretch. Hopefully I've got it somewhere. I didn't plan on making a stretching video, I just wanted to kind of inform you guys on stretching. So here is the footage of my last stretch. I have to remember to look at my camera instead of at my face. So right now I am about to try and see if I can stretch my ears up to the next size. Hopefully by now I probably should have already told you about taping because my ears, my current ear holes, or what's in my ear holes, look a bit different. So what is currently in my ears is a 14mm, this is the 16, this is the one I'm going up to, is a 14mm plug. It's got tape all the way around it. It has a 14mm O-ring on one side and a 16mm O-ring on the other side. I'm really hoping that I can stretch up today. I did tape this morning and just measuring it up, it looks like it'll fit. So I don't know. I'm going to start with this ear, only because I think this is my good ear. Okay, so yeah, you can see that there. It's really gross. It's got lots of tape around it. So I'm hoping that that, compared to that, isn't too bad. It's only maybe like a millimetre jump. I've got coconut oil here to lube up my ears with. I just love coconut oil because it's amazing. Grab some more for the taper. I've used it on my last set of stretches, so hopefully you should have heard by now my stretching story. So I didn't use coconut oil for my first set of stretches. I used stretching balm. So I've lubed that up, it's nice and oily. I've lubed up my ear. I'm hoping this is going to go in. If not, I'll just tape up. There we go. That went in really nicely. This 16mm stretch is hopefully my last stretch. I have bought all of my new jewellery in 16mm, so I'm praying to the gods that my ear is going to be 16mm. I'm hoping that I don't stretch up anymore. I don't think I will. I feel like that is a really good size for my ear. It's a bit pink at the moment, but yeah, I'm really hoping that this is the size that I'm going to be. So now that you've seen all of that, it's time to get on to the rules, or stretching 101. Numero uno. A gauge is not what you've got in your ears. A gauge is how you measure the size of your plugs. You either have a plug or a tunnel in your ear. Do not keep your stretchers, or as the professionals call them, tapers, in your ear as jewellery. That is, your ear will stretch wonky and you'll end up with an ear like that, especially towards the end of your stretching, however far you want to go. The bigger the taper, the more weight it has, the more it's going to stretch your ear wonky, and the more you're going to end up with not a straight ear, but a wonky ear like that. So mine are quite nice and straight. I do have a little bit of weight down at the bottom, so it does point out a little bit, but that's only because I've got fat ears. Go as slowly as physically possible. If you're stretching from a 2 gauge to a 0 gauge in a week or 2 weeks, you're going to get a blowout in the back of your ear, which is basically, so you've got your ear and you've got the flesh part on the middle. When you put that tunnel or that taper through, it's going to push all of the scar tissue of the inside of that tunnel, because that's what that is. That's what is in the inside of your ears. It's all scar tissue, healed scar tissue. It's going to push all of that to the back of your ear. So all of that is basically going to pop out the back of your ear, and you're going to have this gross red circle of scar tissue at the back of your ear, and it's not going to be pretty. Trust me, it's not going to be pretty. Take it slow, take your time, tape when you can. Use a lubricant that is not H2O or salt water or anything like that, because it's just going to dry your ears out immeasurably. I use coconut oil and stretching balm. That is what you should always use. Don't use lube, because just don't use lube because it's sticky and it's gross. Use coconut oil, stretching balm, coconut butter, just whatever you can get your hands on that is not sticky or is drying, because you will regret it and you'll end up with cracked ears. In between stretches, keep your ears moisturized. Like the previous thing I said, they will crack, they will get gross. You want to keep them pretty, so moisturize them. Even now, I still use coconut butter on mine. And as you can see, they turn really nicely. And this is my bad ear. And from the footage you just saw, this is like 2 days after stretching, and they are fine. Absolutely fine. So I left it maybe a month in between my stretches, and I'm not meaning that I left it a month in between forcing a taper through my ear. I left it a month, and during that month I taped every day or every other day, and I would put 1, maybe 2. If I was feeling adventurous and my ears were really stretchy that day, I'd put 3 wraps of tape on my plug. And that built up my ear's elasticity, and it built up the hole in my ear until I was able to easily slide the taper through. In the footage you saw, I did have some issues getting the taper through this ear, and that is only because this is my bad ear and it's always been weird and wonky, and it's never felt right putting something through this ear. But I knew I was at the stage where I could, and I didn't force it. I took it really slowly. It never pinched, it never cracked, it never bled. It was only like a hot feeling. That's all I felt when I was doing this ear. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, then hit that like button and subscribe while you're down there so you don't miss any more of my future videos. I will see you guys next week with a book related video. See you later. Bye!